Welcome back to the Spoilercast, the show where we talk about movies and we don't care about spoiling them. My name is Tobias, and with me as always is my sister and trusted co-host Rebecca.
Hello!
Hello! And today we're talking about a new movie. Well, relatively new. New for us. It had premiered today here in Sweden. It's the religious...
17th!
Yeah. December?
I thought you were talking about the date.
No, it's May.
Well, yeah.
I thought you said December 17th.
The 17th.
Oh.
Either way.
Anyway, we're talking about Immaculate. The Sydney Sweeney nun movie. Yes, another nun movie. Starring Sydney Sweeney. Well, not another new movie starring Sydney Sweeney, but another nun movie.
Another movie starring Sydney Sweeney. We did do one a couple of months ago.
Yeah, true. Yeah, it's irregular stuff, you know. Innocent American nun comes to a foreign monastery or whatever you call it, cloister, whatever.
Nunnery.
Nunnery, yeah. Everything seems fine and dandy, and then things start happening, and, you know, dark secrets are unveiled, because there's always dark secrets lurking in Catholicism. Like, literally, that's not even a thing. It's actually a thing, yeah.
I think we talked about that when we did the first Omen.
Yeah. Which this is very much like, but we'll get to that.
Yes,
anyway,
at least some of it. We're
gonna do this the right way. So I'm gonna ask you, what did you think of Immaculate?
It was okay. It wasn't anything special.
Okay.
Like story-wise, like you said, we've seen this before, basically.
Yeah.
Which isn't very exciting.
Sure.
And, sure, Sydney Sweeney is always interesting to watch, especially when she's... Even in a nun movie, you see a lot of skin, or details at least.
Oh, you mean like that? Okay, because I was saying...
She's very pretty, I'll give you that.
Yeah, she's pretty, but she's not the greatest of actresses. She's fine. She's good.
She's fine.
Yeah.
I think you could kind of tell that this was a passion project. She gave it her all.
She gave it her all, but it's also a little bit, you know, I can see why she wanted to get this movie made, because it's very much like a main character syndrome movie.
Yes.
Even if it's
this is her movie.
She's almost turns into a fucking martyr in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, sure. It's also, I think it was an interesting story. I can see why she wanted to get it made, yeah. Sure.
It wasn't as scary as I thought it would be, which is both good and bad. Scary as in, I assumed there would be more like, you know, the stupid jump scares.
Oh, okay, well, yeah, sure, yeah. Based on the reviews, contra the first Omen, which got very good reviews. Good movie. This got a little lower. This is a 54 Metascore.
57?
57, yeah. While the first Omen was like up in the 70s, right?
I think so.
Damn it.
65.
Oh, only 6. Okay, maybe it's lower then.
Yeah, I think it was higher when it was new.
Early, it got a lot of good reviews, yeah.
Yeah.
And, you know, you don't have to, you know, not like, I'm going to compare them, is what I'm trying to say.
Sure.
And I don't know, I mean,
we'll get more into that as well, to be honest.
It's two nun horror movies.
An American nun coming to Italy.
Yeah. It's a horror movie.
It's a horror movie. They premiered with just a couple of months in between.
Yeah, exactly.
If even that.
So
technically, Immaculate had premiered in March.
Yeah.
Which is basically the same time as the first Omen.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's fair to compare them, and I gotta say, controversial opinion maybe, and I have to digest it a little bit, but I think I prefer Immaculate.
I can see why.
Yeah.
But I think it depends on what kind of movie you're expecting.
Sure.
But what did you think of it overall?
I enjoyed it. I liked it. Nothing I really disliked about it. There's just some things could have been better.
Sure.
I thought it was It had yeah, a bunch of fake out jump scares. Not a bunch, but some.
A couple,
Some fine jump scares, but it was also like genuinely scary, I think. It had a very oppressive aura about it, and we've talked about that, and I think that is scary more than jump scares.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed it for that. It was very well shot. I liked the cinematography a lot. Not all the time. Sometimes it was, but at certain moments, it really shined.
Yeah.
I loved the music. I thought the music was amazing. Very fitting. Lots of psalms and hymns being sung, but also like the actual original score. It was great. Yeah, plot fairly predictable. Especially if you've seen the trailer. I mean, there's not really any big twists here. I guess there's one.
There's one, yeah.
There's one, but it's not. You kind of expected it.
Kind of.
And if you've seen The Omen or the first Omen,
you expected a version of it at least.
Yeah, exactly. You expected something like that.
Yeah.
So there's not much to spoil here, but we'll dance around details, of course. Yeah.
But I mean, the big one is that obviously it's an immaculate conception, and we know that from the.
It's immaculate.
Yeah. It's from the trailer. It's from the fucking name of the movie. It's immaculate conception, which is the big thing. Which, first of all, is like the most scariest part of the entire movie, in my opinion.
That it's an immaculate conception?
Well, the birth and how they handle the pregnancy and how they handle it is just terrifying.
What do you mean?
Just pregnancies in general are terrifying.
Sure.
And then not being allowed to like go to a proper hospital, and everyone being like, "Oh, you're so fantastic! You're God's miracle." Like, dude. Yeah. And then just freaky stuff happening around you while you're still having something freaky happening inside you.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
I told my pregnant sort of sister-in-law, we're not married, but you know what I mean, that I'm
your boyfriend's sister.
Pregnancy kind of freaks me out. I'm like, yeah, I get it. It's not. It's weird until you get there. I promise. It's like, oh, sure.
Yeah.
Looks terrifying, and the way they portray it in horror movies make it even worse. Obviously.
Yeah.
Great deterrent.
Yeah. I guess.
Unfortunately, we didn't have the hand like we had in the first Omen. Do you remember the hand coming out of her?
Oh, right. Yeah. Not that we're just gonna fucking compare the movies, but
no,
this one wasn't. In a way, it was much more straightforward.
Yes.
But in a way, it was a lot more restrained.
I would call it grounded almost.
Yeah, grounded. Yeah, in a good way. Which was the thing that kind of, I don't mind, of course, I don't mind, fantastical things in my horror movies. But that was one thing, and I don't remember if we talked about it. I guess I wanted to be as positive as possible when talking about the first Omen, because I really liked it. The supernatural aspects of that movie kind of took away from the real horror.
Yes.
And this one, spoilers, I suppose, there's no supernatural thing involved here. It's all real. This is just the evil of man, which is the scariest evil. I think.
It feels a little bit supernatural, like the basis of it, but it's not.
No, that's more science fiction.
Yeah, sure, that's true.
Because it's a scientific thing, but obviously they kind of have to skirt around reality, so to speak. Yeah, or real science.
Which is kind of fun to have science fiction and religion in the same thing like that. Like this kind of religion.
But listen, what he talked about, the thing, like, it's just DNA.
Sure.
Like,
it's not impossible. It's not weird that way.
You just need a something to transfer that DNA into the thing. It doesn't have to be, No. Yeah.
I know how that works.
Yeah, no, they were only 10 minutes in. I don't want to start spoiling things already.
Nah, I know.
But I don't really have much more to say about it. Like that. It was a good movie. It was very reminiscent, more than the first Omen. This was more reminiscent of like nunsploitation.
Yes.
I mean, obviously, there wasn't a lot of like sexualizing of the nuns, which was a big thing in nunsploitation, because a bunch of horny Italians are like, we make it a sexy movie, but it's a real movie because it's nuns, but they're sexy. That's nunsploitation.
There's like hints of it.
Yeah.
And I feel like it might be Sydney Sweeney's way of going, this is what you're expecting, isn't it? And then kind of not doing it properly. Because she's been sexualized a lot in her career.
What do you mean hinting at it? Hinting at sexualization? Sexualizing?
Of nuns, yeah. With
What?
the bathing scenes and stuff.
Oh, I didn't find that sexual at all. The fact that they had clothes on while bathing?
Yeah, but you can still see
Yeah,
things.
you can still see, but hey, get your mind out of the gutter, Rebecca. Obviously, you can see through wet clothes, yes, but I did not see that as
the close-up of the nipples?
No, well, that was so not sexual at all, though. The scene,
Okay.
I think it's in the trailer. It's a scene where she's floating in the water, the pool or whatever, the bathtub.
The washroom thingy.
Yeah, it is so not a sexual image, at least to me.
No, but the one where they're washing each other.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't see that as a sexual.
Because they were
image
doing
as well.
close-ups of nipples in that one too.
No, just close-ups of nipples,
Yes,
close-ups
there
of
were.
faces.
Yeah, and her nipple was next to it.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's human anatomy for you, Rebecca. They're pretty close, you know. I did not see it as sexualizing at all. That was just like.
No, but that's what I'm saying. They're hinting at it, as in it's right there, but it's covered.
No, okay. I think you're reading into it a little too much.
Maybe.
And I don't think a lot of Sydney Sweeney fans are gonna go watch this.
No.
No, so like, I don't think.
But just like the Italian officers in the beginning went, such a waste.
Yeah.
There might be some dudes who go, Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah, in a nun movie, why would they like? What an audience? I don't think the audience watching this is expecting nudity or like, oh yeah, fuck yeah, Sydney Sweeney, let's see some tits, you know, because she's wearing a fucking habit.
Sure.
So, whatever. That is not an important part of the movie. It's literally one
No.
scene. I guess 2 scenes technically.
But I made you waste 3 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, we had a long conversation, not pertaining to the movie, or during our ride home. So now it just feels like you're
Antagonizing you.
Yeah.
Nah.
We'll talk more about that some other time.
Maybe in the Patreon.
Maybe on the Patreon, yeah.
Because we can talk more freely there.
Yeah. No,
I was just trying to like drag on time a little bit.
No, okay.
Because I want to get to spoilers.
Right. Fuck it then. Let's do spoilers.
Isn't it too early?
But what more can we say that is not talking specifics?
No, I guess you're right.
Anything you didn't like about the movie?
Most of the acting.
The acting?
Yeah. Actually, there were some effects that were kind of weird.
Okay.
Like the fall you see in the trailer, the one who jumps from the roof.
I think that's like the one CGI thing in the movie. The nun who falls
That
off
one
the
and the
roof.
fire towards the end.
I didn't see him. Okay. Yeah.
It looks.
Yeah, she fought. The physics are weird.
Yeah.
It feels like a PlayStation 2 game when she like falls like oh.
Yeah, it's a bit too fast.
Yeah. It's like she weighs 600 pounds, but she starts weighing 600 pounds. Like
Halfway through.
Yeah, halfway through. Whoa. Yeah. But the fire. I'm pretty sure it was real fire.
The poof was a little bit weird.
I think that's real fire. I'm just saying.
Well, then it was captured weird. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, because
But no. Other than that, yeah, some of the acting wasn't fantastic. Most of the acting wasn't fantastic.
Yeah, it was fantastic. It wasn't bad.
It was fine.
Yeah, it was good. It was fine.
I wanna Sister Gwen. I recognized her, but I can't
Yeah, but I couldn't
pinpoint.
place
Benedetta
her.
Porcaroli.
Or she reminded me of someone. 'Cause...
Yeah, I think it's more that because it.
Oh
doesn't
no!
seem...
Yeah, she's in Perfetti Sconosciuti.
Well, you've seen that one, but I haven't.
Yeah, she's the... Who's she in that? She seems too young to be... Is she the... She's Sophia in that movie. God, it's been so long since I saw that movie. 2016, yeah. Shit, it's almost 10 years. Shit. Okay, but that's why I recognize her then, because I saw her in that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a fucking
But I haven't seen
movie.
her in that one, though, so I don't know why, but she reminded me of someone, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, because she's not in much that I recognize except for that. A lot of Italian stuff.
Yeah.
Not
Most of the actors were
shitty.
Italian, right?
Yeah.
That was, like, accurate. at
Oh,
least.
wow. Perfetto Sconosciuti was her first movie. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like her first thing, even. Yeah. Anyway,
Same with, like,
she reminded
the priest,
you of
Alvaro Morte.
yeah, she reminded you though of someone else. That's the thing. I know.
Yeah, but I
know
can't.
who
I
you-
can't.
I know who it is. It's
Oh, you do?
it's Yennefer from The Witcher. What's her name?
Yeah, maybe.
Oh
Yeah, they have similar faces.
Yeah,
They do.
Yeah. What's her name?
Oh,
Anya
did she-
Chalotra. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's a pretty similar, especially in The Witcher, because she looks kind of different in real life. Yeah, they have a similar facial features. Yeah, that's who it is. That's what I did. That's what I thought of, but I did.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, more than Perfetto Sconosciuti.
Or Benedetta Porcaroli.
Porcaroli. Yeah.
Jesus. Italian names, I'm so sorry.
No, it's wonderful. It's Andara Ciambala.
No, but it feels like I'm butchering it. Feels insensitive the way I say it. I don't speak Italian, obviously.
I don't speak Italiano. Hey, hey. Anyway, yeah. Should we get into spoilers?
Yes. Because there's not a lot of other actors in general in this movie. There's not a lot of actors.
No one you really recognize. No.
I'm missing one, but I can't... Ah, she doesn't have a picture, that's why. Sister Isabel.
Isabel, who was that?
Giulia Heathfield Di Renzi.
Yeah, who was the character? I don't know.
Sister Isabel, the one who was kind of annoyed.
Oh, her.
But this is her one and only movie also, so that's why she doesn't have...
Yeah, so anyway.
Yeah.
Sorry
Spoilers.
for this. Yeah, kind of short, but yeah, spoilers from here on out. We're about 18 minutes. Yeah, we're 18 minutes in.
Yeah, we're
Spoilers, if you don't want this pretty straightforward movie spoiled for you, turn off now! Spoilers!
And come back.
And in the
watch
end,
movie.
when she kills the baby, there, you see, I can do it again, because that one
Yeah,
dies
of course.
again. Yeah. Wait.
What was it?
what
What,
was
was it? What we wanted to talk about?
Yeah, I don't remember now.
I feel scatterbrained today. Well, the whole reproduction of the provrörsbebis. How do you
Yeah,
say
the test tube baby.
test tube? That's how you say it.
Yeah.
It feels like, yeah, sure. It's technically, I
It took-
guess,
It took
possible.
DNA, and then you just create, like, you make artificial semen. It's just, what you need is to get the DNA into the
Sure.
womb.
And you can take that from basically anything from a person.
Yeah, then you just need some goo to transfer it. So
Technically,
yeah.
though, how do they know that was actually Jesus' DNA?
Because they had it tested. That's what he talked about in the end when he showed her.
How...
They found out it was true. Like, there was DNA. Yeah. Oh, they didn't know it was Jesus, but they knew, like, the. But that, okay. Well, that I guess plot hole then. But I mean, this was the nail that was impaled in Jesus' hand. They knew that. So if there's blood on it, it's the blood of Jesus.
Sure, and obviously they don't care. In their mind, it is the blood of Jesus, and that's all that matters.
Yeah. So that's what the whole movie was about. They wanted to, just like The Omen, like, it is a movie where they want to bring about, well, in this one is literally they want to bring back Jesus. While
Yeah.
in Omen,
The
it's,
closest thing to a
the
clone they could come.
anti-Jesus, Antichrist. Yeah, they wanted to clone Jesus.
Like, how do we do that? We take his DNA and we make someone have an immaculate birth of him.
Yeah. Well, you could have just grown it in a lab, of course.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Because
there was
isn't
religious.
it mixed with her DNA then, so it's not pure Jesus. It's half Jesus.
Well, yeah. Well, you're always gonna need a womb, even if it's an artificial one. You can't just have one person's
Sure,
DNA.
but you can then combine his DNA twice.
That's the whole. No. So
can, but it doesn't
inbreed
complete
with
it,
yourself.
Can.
I don't think that's how biology works. You need two people to make another person. We don't have cellular mitosis.
But I mean, you can, but it's not going to be perfect then, because it's going to be like duplicates of some things, and then it's going to fuck up.
Yeah, that's the problem with cloning. That's why the only actual clone we had died pretty quickly. You probably don't remember that they cloned a sheep for real.
No, I know. I don't remember it, but I've heard it.
Yeah, okay.
So many times. I want to call her Rosie, but I don't think that was her name.
No, it wasn't Rosie. It was something else. I don't remember.
Betsy the sheep.
I want to say Lucy.
No, Lucy's the first woman.
Yeah, I know, but maybe whatever. Yeah, but I thought that was a cool twist, and I was glad there was nothing that it wasn't just
Dolly. By the
Dolly, way. right. That it wasn't just some crazy cult and like, oh, we're sacrificing nuns to the devil, like there was, because that's like that we literally have seen 100 times.
Yes.
Or like in The Nun, where like, oh, religion is actually good. We're defending the world against the demons. Like, religion is bad here.
Yes,
because it's created a crazy person in Father Tedeschi.
It's created a bunch of crazy people, to be honest.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Because they were all kind of in on it, I assume, or at least the males.
But that's the thing, though. Was the main guy, not the Pope, the
doctor?
No, the guy with the hat.
The eminence.
Yeah, your eminence, whatever he is. He's you're not a pope, you're a...
I don't know, fucking priest.
Cardinal or something. I don't remember the fucking name for it. Because he seemed like genuine, like, it's Immaculate. And it felt like Tedeschi was kind of hiding his lab.
But Isabella was hoping that she would be the new Mary, so she was in on it somehow.
Yeah, that's true.
They were a little bit iffy on like if everyone knew or not. I mean, the woman who said you will never be able to leave this place, she was obviously in on it. She was probably, though, a failed Mary.
Yeah, because she had the wounds.
The
burns.
The burns. And the footsies.
Yeah. I liked that.
Sure, yeah, no, that was a refreshing take on it, so to speak.
Yeah, that it wasn't, because like I said, that was that's what, and I kind of said that already, but that's what kind of softened all the horrors for me with the first Omen.
Yeah.
That one had stronger like themes of maternity and oppression and stuff like that. I think than this had. It really hammered it home a lot more visually and stuff. The scene after she is injected, so to speak, in that movie, and she lies in bed, the hair is everywhere. Inseminated, yeah. This one isn't as it wasn't as strong visually.
No, but I think that's also because in this case, first of all, it's a normal pregnancy in like the time is normal.
Well, we still see her having like a feverish dream of someone, stabbing her.
Sure.
So obviously something happened that she can't remember from that night.
That's true.
Yeah. So imagine.
But it's more natural in a way.
Yeah, sure. But imagine if you had this plot, but with the imagery of the first Omen. That would have been the perfect movie.
Yeah.
Just the way how they kept depicting her as like, the Holy Mother. They did that a little bit here. I mean, they literally did when she stood as Mother Mary.
Yeah.
Like,
that is a very striking visual. Of her being,
that was
like,
when I was
adorned and
shit.
pretty, and then just the tears.
Yeah. But that was also something I not sure how I feel about, because she never seemed happy about it.
No, she seemed more scared.
Yeah, it was just like, but
despite how religious you are, it's not normal.
No, but it's like if you are a believer, it has happened before. So, and that was like the greatest thing to ever happen to humankind.
Sure.
So shouldn't you be happy about it?
Yeah, you should be, but I also think that maybe it's a bit invasive. That like you can't explain it. You're not allowed to go to a hospital to have it checked
Yeah, but
out
before
properly.
that, before they started like saying no, you don't have to like. Immediately, she's like, like wait
Yeah,
a
because
minute.
it's probably scary.
You're about to bring in a literal avatar of God into the world. Like that is every nun's dream, isn't it?
I guess. I don't know.
You're
I'm not
married.
a nun.
You're married to God. You're carrying God's child. Shouldn't you be happy?
Probably.
Yeah. So there. I mean,
but I
obviously-
imagine since it's such a uncommon occurrence, it still feels a bit weird when it does happen.
Yeah, it can feel weird, but at some point she should be like, "Oh no, I am actually really happy about it," and then weird things starts to happen.
Yeah, yes.
She was confused, then worried, and then terrified. There was never.
Yeah, she needed a point where she was convinced.
Yeah, there never was one really.
No, that's true.
Sure, the movie is short, but you could have added that in,
Yeah, that could have been 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And this movie was, like you said, it's short, so you could have added 5 minutes.
It's like an hour and 29 with credits.
Yeah.
It's insane. We were out of the cinema in like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And that's with trailers and stuff in the beginning.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's one thing I disliked, and also, I'm guessing.
Yeah, we never got to see her full devotion and feeling like confident in her beliefs.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what's missing.
And we never actually had the time to then explore, because she talks about how she is a believer, and she thought God had some plan for her because she survived that accident when she was a child.
Drowning.
Yeah, the drowning, and she was dead for 7 minutes and stuff. But
But in her, as we see her, we don't really get to see her being devoted.
Yeah,
she's constantly just confused and scared because she's in this new place.
Yeah, we don't see her either affirm her faith or question it.
No, we just see her be insecure. I don't understand what you're saying. That's all we get.
Yeah. So maybe
that overshadows her religion.
Yeah, maybe the script needed a once over. I don't know. And
maybe,
then
I don't really understand why they needed to set it in Italy.
Because it's like
it couldn't have just been.
It's like the most Catholic country in the world.
Sure.
It's like insane. If you really want to go for the, and I mean, there are no big churches like that in America. It just doesn't exist.
Then why
those
didn't,
churches
why didn't
existed before America was a thing,
Sure, but then why not make the main character Italian?
Because it's easier to sell to a worldwide audience if you have Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah, I guess
that's the producer brain,
At least have her understand Italian then.
Yeah, I don't know why she couldn't just speak Italian, or at least
understand it, and then reply in English or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Because she did do it at some point. She's like, "Yeah, I get it," and then all of a sudden, what does that mean? It's like.
That's all something.
It's kind of ruining the flow a little bit.
That's something, when they went more, pandering in The First Omen, where most people just spoke English to her.
Yeah.
But she also, if they spoke a little bit of Italian, she got it.
Yes.
In this movie, no, it's more authentic. They don't speak English in Italy unless you're, well-read or whatever.
In the city?
Yeah. So here, they're all going to speak Italian, but we're not going to make our main character speak Italian. Once again, almost going too authentic.
Yeah. It hindered the movie's flow a little bit.
Yeah. But I guess it's also a way for them to, it's easier. If there's a language barrier, it's easier to control a person. You can just talk freely around them.
Sure.
Stuff like that,
By the way, I had to look it up because when we heard the name Cecilia, I was like, "Oh, is that the same name as the girl in the First Omen?" No, it's not.
What was her name in?
In First Omen, she's Margaret.
Oh, it's not at all the same thing.
No, we had though Sister Silva, which I guess is the closest one, but no,
the older one, right, in that movie.
Yeah.
There
were no similar names. I just imagined it.
Yeah. I can't focus. I'm reading trivia. Anyway.
Oh yeah, I haven't even looked at any of that.
No. I knew the story of how the movie came to be, but whatever. I want to discuss the ending.
Sure, go for it.
That's also part of what I really liked about the movie, about the cinematography. There's a lot of scenes that just go on and on and on without cuts. Not like big, elaborate like moves, but we let the movie rest for a while. There's not a lot of quick cuts, which is nice. Mm-hmm. And the end is literally a one take of her giving birth, but we only see her face, and it's like the transformation scene in the Northman when the berserkers, they go into berserker rage, and he just screams, his heart out, like there's no like try. I remember talking about like complete like dedication to the performance there, not trying to look cool or anything, and just scream until you turn into a bear wolf, and in this one it's just like there's no like, oh, I'm trying to like scream like beautiful. No, it's just fucking until
you know what it reminded me of?
No.
The end of was it Pearl, when she's just like laughing hysterically or smiling hysterically towards the end.
It's almost breaking.
Kind of reminded me of that.
That was real because the director didn't call cuts.
He just kept going.
And you can see her looking at her like, how long do I have to smile? Because I'm about to burst into tears and my eyes are stinging. Yeah, exactly. Dedication. But then the shot goes on as she bites off the umbilical cord.
By the way, the sound when the baby actually gets birthed, I almost threw up. No, but like the flop.
The thud.
Yeah. That was disgusting.
Yeah. And I love...
And then, like you said, the baby sound was not normal.
Yeah.
I was like, did she give birth to a dog? What the fuck is happening?
Obviously, like, the science wasn't right. Like, that's why they had been failing for so long. Like, that was not
so it was probably not a
healthy baby. Yeah. But it's kind of funny because the end then, and then this whole thing talking about like emancipation, then, because that's obviously what the whole thing is about. Like, breaking free of the traditional, maternal role and everything. Blah 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 blah. Women's things, whatever. This is the conservative in me talking. I found it a little. I mean, I thought it was like, whoa, cool. But it was a little head-scratchy, little distasteful that earlier in the movie, she was unable to cut off the head of a chicken. Because like, oh no, it's too scary, I don't want to kill the chicken, for food. Which I can understand it not being like, oh yeah, I love it. But I wouldn't, I'm saying this having never done it, but in my heart, I wouldn't hesitate. If like I had to eat the chicken, yeah, fuck it, I'll just chop the head off, whatever. It's food. Yeah.
Sure.
Or,
you'd like to think that at least.
I'd like to think that.
When you get to the point,
I would love. If anyone has a farm and let me slaughter chicken, please, I'll do it. I just want to see.
I mean, Grandma probably could hook you up with that. Yeah. We'll call her.
They don't really raise chickens like that, though. They raise them for eggs.
Nah, but maybe they have one that's sick or something.
Sure. But so an animal, a chicken, she's like, oh, I can't do it.
Yeah.
But now she's faced with it's basically a rape baby. Like she didn't it wasn't brought here in the right way, sure.
No.
But it's still
it's most likely deformed.
Yeah, sure, but it's still a completely innocent baby. The baby is not involved in the atrocities,
No.
Put on you. And I guess she hesitates, but she does kill the baby in the end.
Sure.
And that was just like, it felt like they were, I don't know if they thought that through then. If it was deliberate to show that, oh no, I couldn't kill an innocent chicken, but I'll fucking kill this baby.
Oh yeah, no, that was deliberate.
It was, okay. Why was she okay with killing the baby? I mean, we don't know if she was okay with it, but
No, she's probably not okay with it.
But she still did it.
I think it's a bit of a character development, first of all. It might be Um, it might be a bit of a like emancipation, like you said. I think I don't know. I think it could either be a like religious thing because they've expected to bring forth the second coming of Jesus, which is supposed to, if I remember correctly, end it all.
No, that's the Antichrist.
Isn't when Jesus returns, it's the beginning of the end, isn't it?
I don't know.
That's when he's gathering his lambs and they're gonna go up to heaven, anyone who's faithful.
But hasn't Jesus already come back? He resurrected after 3 days, didn't he?
Yeah, but no, like a second time.
Oh, okay.
That one doesn't count.
Okay. But that is what
the Easter thing doesn't count.
Then I'm confused because I thought that there was the Jews that was waiting for him to come back, or is that for him to come back?
I might be confusing it. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. They did mention in the movie something about the second coming of Jesus, and they said something that sounded ominous.
What is the second coming, really?
So maybe she was like, I don't want to be the reason for the world to end. Let's kill this monstrosity. But I think mainly it is the whole, this is not my baby, my choice kind of thing. She will not be able to take care of this child because she's on the run, basically.
Yeah.
I mean...
But that's very literal.
I honestly thought it would end before that. I thought the movie would end with her just like, and what the fuck am I supposed to do now?
Yeah.
Just standing there before she even gave birth. Like, I'm in the middle of rural Italy.
Oh, yeah, here it is. The second coming, sometimes called the second advent or parousia, is the Christian belief that Jesus Christ will return to earth after his ascension to heaven, which is said to have occurred about 2,000 years ago. That's when he...
Yeah, that's the Easter thing.
Yeah. He goes... Yeah, that's right.
That's why we call it Kristi Himmelfärd.
Yeah, that's true. The idea is based on messianic prophecies and is part of most Christian eschatologies. Other faiths have various interpretations of it. Yeah, okay. Sure.
But what's it supposed to lead to?
Hold on. Judaism. Judaism teaches that Jesus is... Whoa! Judaism teaches that Jesus is one of the false Jewish Messiah claimants because he failed to fulfill any messianic prophecies, which include whatever. Regarding the Christian idea that these prophecies will be fulfilled during a second coming, Or Samayach states, we find this to be a contrived answer since there is no mention of a second coming in the Jewish Bible. Second, why couldn't God accomplish his goals the first time round?
Yeah.
They're just being... That's very Jewish. Sorry. What's the point of it, so to speak? Yeah.
Like, what's he gonna do with the second coming?
Views about the nature of the second coming vary among Christian denominations and among individual Christians. Specific dates, blah, blah, blah. What's the point? Isn't there... Early Christianity. Whatever. It's too much text. I'm not going to spend a bunch of time reading it here. Or should I read it all? We cut it out, and that's the Patreon uncut version.
It could be.
Okay, let's see if we can find it. Hold on. Where do I edit? 38 minutes, sort of. Yeah.
I found a blog.
Okay.
No, keep reading. I'm gonna look it up.
Let's see here.
I kept saying Jesus Christ during the entire movie, which was unintentional.
Yeah. The most common English translation of Genea is generation, which leads some to conclude that the second coming was to be witnessed by people living in the same generation as Jesus. According to historian Charles what is the point?
He will come again in his glory to judge the living and the dead, and his kingdom will have no end.
Yeah.
We look for the resurrection of the dead and the life of the world to come.
Oh yeah, here it is. It'll happen in a single moment. Suddenly and unexpectedly. Not even angels, saints, or demons will know when it occurs. It will cause the fullness of the reign of God and the consummation of the universe and mankind.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Not consummation, like consummation. Yeah.
Yeah.
The fullness of the reign of God means God fully manifests the victory he won over his enemies, sin, suffering, and Satan, on the cross, just as God gradually revealed himself to Israel until the birth of Jesus. So also God gradually manifests his victory through the church's sacraments, until the moment when he will fully manifest his victory through the consummation of the universe and mankind. E.g., ipso facto, by granting the universe and mankind a share in Jesus' resurrection, transfigured, and the dead being resurrected, judged, and recompensed. So is that the rapture?
Yeah, I think so. It's the rapture.
Rapture. Yeah, we believe that the coming of our Lord is to be personal and premillennial. Also that it is imminent. We must distinguish... No! Wait. We must distinguish... This is in Methodism, though.
Okay.
But it says... we must distinguish between the rapture, his coming in the air to receive his saints, which may occur at any moment, and the revelation, his coming down to earth with his saints, the latter of which will not occur until after the gathering of Israel. Okay. All right. What did yours say?
No, that was a weird one.
Oh, okay.
It had like one sentence that was good, and then it was just strange stuff.
Religious babble.
Yeah.
Okay.
What would happen after the second coming?
Yeah. It feels like...
Apostasy caused by the Antichrist. What?
Apostasy isn't that when you break like the rules?
The second coming is suspended until Jesus is recognized by all of Israel, and it will be followed by a final and ultimate temptation to sin, in this case apostasy, caused by the Antichrist. So it's gonna be war between Jesus and Antichrist, and whoever follows Jesus will be good.
Sort of. Apostasy, exactly what is it? Abandonment of one's religious faith. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Or just abandonment of one's cause, or a cause. An abandonment of what one has voluntarily professed, a total desertion of departure from one's faith, principles, or party. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Yes.
In short, the return of Christ brings about what is referred to as the kingdom of God in Scripture, God's absolute rule over his creation, including humankind. To accomplish that, Jesus ushers in two different judgments, two different resurrections, and two different eternities. Yeah, so he will judge everyone, and you will either go to heaven or hell.
But I thought that was the rapture.
So I think they might be the same thing then. But they just call it different things. Because
the rapture is an eschatological position held by some Christians. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Particularly those of American evangelicalism, consisting of an end-time event that when all dead Christian believers will be resurrected and joined with Christians who are still alive, together will rise in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air. Okay. Okay, so that's not technically, I mean, it's a Christian thing, but it's not, Catholicism, which is that's the big C Christian part,
Yeah.
The real Christianity is Catholicism, I suppose. Differing viewpoints exist about the exact time of the rapture and whether Christ's return would occur in one event or two. Pre-tribulationism distinguishes the rapture from the second coming. I saw that. It's mentioned, though, in the Gospel of Matthew, 2 Thessalonians, and Revelation. This view holds that the rapture would precede the 7-year tribulation, which would culminate in Christ's second coming and be followed by a 1,000-year messianic kingdom.
Yeah, those who survive this judgment will remain on earth and enjoy a time of peace and prosperity with Christ for 1,000 years, referred to as the millennium.
Yeah.
Those who are found guilty in this judgment are cursed and consigned to the eternal fire prepared for the devil and his angels. And Satan is bound and forbidden to act during the millennium, so they will have 1,000 years of pure bliss.
Yeah, when Jesus has arrived, and then...
Yeah, and he's cleared out every bad person.
Yeah.
And everyone else will have heaven on earth for 1,000 years.
Yeah. Yeah, it does...
And will also be a resurrection of all believers in God, so the dead will rise again, if they were believers.
Yeah.
And they will join this millennium.
Yeah. Yeah, it says here.
And at the end of the millennium, Satan will be released, and one final battle will occur, which will rapidly be won by Christ, according to Revelation 20:7-9.
Yeah.
Satan is then permanently consigned to the lake of fire. At this point, the second resurrection will occur, and another judgment. Unbelievers will be resurrected and judged at what is referred to as the Great White Throne Judgment. Based on their work, they will be assigned to the lake of fire.
Yeah.
So,
but it is an interpretation thing, because rapture is never mentioned in the Bible. It says here, most Christian denominations do not subscribe to the rapture theology and have a different interpretation of the aerial gathering described in 1 Thessalonians.
Yeah.
Okay. They do not use.
But that's the thing though. They're trying to bring Jesus back so they can clear out all the bad people, and we can have heaven on earth for 1,000 years, and then everyone will just be
all the
dead
believers
and happy.
All the believers will go to heaven and be fine.
Yeah,
live in the kingdom of God.
Yeah, and that's the end of mankind.
Which is kind of funny because that is exactly what the cult, whatever they are in the Omen movies, try to do as well. They want to bring about the Antichrist so that he will create hell on earth, which will galvanize true believers into defeating the evil. Like it will bring believers closer together, while unbelievers, of course, will die. So they're trying to artificially create the rapture by bringing about the Antichrist, and here it's them just trying to bring about the actual Christ,
which feels kind of blasphemous in a way.
Well, yeah.
Which they mention in the movie.
They talk about that.
You're playing God. It's like, no, if
God didn't agree, why wouldn't He not stop us?
That thing is a dangerous sentence.
That is the very fundamental danger with religion. I can do whatever I want as long as God, because God judges God sees everything. So
if He doesn't stop me, I'm not doing anything wrong.
Then it's God's will.
Go ahead. I'm gonna drive this bus straight into a fucking mall and kill hundreds of people.
If it's not supposed to happen,
if it's wrong, then God will stop me.
Yeah.
If you're not a bad person, Jesus will save you. That's not how it works.
And that's something I've had this. Not like, and I'm not one of those annoying atheists. Like, we're gonna argue about religion with people. But I've had that conversation with true believers, so to speak, religious people that literally believe in God. Asking what is it you like about it? Well, it's the fact that whenever something, I can always, whenever, I'm feeling down or I'm feeling bad, I can always rely on God to, pick me up, basically. And He will solve it for me. It will be okay. So then it's that's if you break it down, then once again, if you think about it, hey, talking about thinking, sometimes it's important to think, Rebecca.
Yeah.
That means that whenever something good happens, it was someone else who did it for you. But whenever you do something bad, that means that God didn't stop you, which means it was okay. It wasn't actually bad.
Yeah.
Because if it was bad, God would have stopped me. This means you are free from all responsibility. But you're also super humble and say oh no, I couldn't do anything good. It was always God's will that won me an Oscar or made me win the lottery or whatever. You know. It's no, you did it. You did it for better or worse. But you did it. Come on, bro.
There are people who are saying it kind of differently. They're yes, it is me who did it, but I wouldn't be able to do it without the help of God, without the guiding hand of God. They use that same argument for getting out of a depression or something. Sure, I can't just sit around and wait for God to make it happen. I have to make it happen myself, but God will guide me through it. He will point me in the right direction.
Yeah. That's fine.
Which is a little bit of that's better.
It's a bit of a cop-out, but it's better at least.
Better. At least you're acknowledging that you still have to want it.
Yeah.
For God to give it to you.
Yeah.
Which then also cancels out a little bit of the bad stuff, because if you didn't want to do the bad stuff, God wouldn't allow you.
Yeah. And I know that's a thing with, especially you mentioned, people are in depression, but with Alcoholics Anonymous, at least in America, I know, you have to, you have to, there's a faith thing involved, but it's not that you literally have to believe in God. You have to believe, though, that there is a higher power, not in a supernatural, but there's forces beyond your grasp, because that's literally what addiction is. It's not you, it's your brain. It's beyond your grasp. So you have to accept that before you can get over it.
Yeah,
so in that way, religion can help. In a good way, or faith can help.
Because it's easier to say that it's not your fault that this is happening, but you can be the force into making it better.
Exactly.
Which, yes, again, it's a little bit of a cop-out, but it's psychology.
Yeah. That works.
It helps.
That works better. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But the whole, if it wasn't bad, then Jesus would have stopped me. Yeah, sure. But then everyone, you can do anything you want.
Yeah. And you know what I'm about to say? God works in mysterious ways.
Sure, but
So, well, just to kind of bring it back to the movie then.
Sure.
A little bit. We're not going to cut any of this, by the way. This is all going
No.
into the episode now because this was kind of fun.
Yeah.
God didn't stop her from killing the baby.
Exactly. So it wasn't Jesus.
It wasn't Jesus.
It was a failed one, and he didn't. But that's the weird thing, though, because God didn't stop the Mr. I don't remember the fucking priest's name.
Tedeschi.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once again, it's
God didn't stop him from experimenting and
no, yeah, it's
trying.
a cop-out. Yeah, didn't stop him from creating abominations.
But neither did God stop her from killing the abomination.
Yeah.
So maybe he wants the priest to try. But if it fails, he's not avert to like, yeah, sure, kill it.
Yeah. Or maybe, hey, revolutionary thought here. Maybe there is no God. Maybe there isn't a higher, power.
Yeah.
Maybe it's all just us. That can be scary, I know, but seems kind of like that's the deal.
Yeah. So far, I haven't seen God's hand in anything.
Yeah, because like you said, like.
Why would God allow certain atrocities to happen? Certain horrible things, such as genocide, starvation.
No, yeah, but that's just because they're those are trials and tribulations. But I mean, specifically here, he did not stop Tedeschi from ostensibly raping women and artificially inseminating them. Even if some seem to have been in on it, like
like Isabella.
Isabella, right? Yeah, but obviously.
Most of them were
Cecilia
most likely
wasn't.
not.
Yeah. So he had God on his side when he did all this horrible stuff, but Cecilia also had God on her side when she killed Jesus,
or the failed
so to
Jesus.
Speak. The failed, But if it was a failed Jesus, why didn't God stop him from making the failed Jesus?
Yeah, why didn't he succeed straight away if God wants him to create Jesus?
Do you see how it is circular? Like, because he doesn't exist.
Exactly.
Yeah. Humans are capable of both good and bad.
Yeah.
That's
I know. My issue with God in general is, but if he's almighty, then why the fuck would he allow newborn babies to suffer? They're not good or bad yet.
No. That's not what I'm getting at. It has to be two occurrences here that contradict. Newborn babies dying that's a test of your faith. That's the whole thing with sacrificing your son. Poor baby,
then.
Poor baby, yeah, I know, it sucks.
The fuck did the baby do?
Nothing.
Exactly.
But what I'm getting at is the point is that he did something wrong.
Yes.
Which he thought of as right because God didn't stop him.
Yes.
Then she did something wrong in his eyes, but God didn't stop her. They contradict.
Yes.
There has to be a contradiction. A baby dying is not a contradiction, that's just sad. And so that's what I'm getting at. A genocide is not a contradiction, it's just sad. But it is supposed to be a test of faith. And as fucked up as it sounds, I get that.
I get if I'm being honest.
It's a test. It's a.
But why should your test of faith affect others?
No, it affects everyone.
Oh, it doesn't.
It's supposed to, because everyone's supposed to believe in him because it's real. He's real.
Yeah, but like you don't know that one infant that died in fucking, let's say, Malaysia today. So it didn't test your faith.
It tests the mom and dad's faith.
Yeah, but why?
Then your faith would test it at some other point.
And why would that baby have to suffer for the test of the parents' faith?
Well, a baby isn't a human.
When it's born, it's a human.
Yeah. But how the fuck are you supposed to test the faith then?
Exactly.
You
shouldn't have to have tests of faith.
No, listen. You're getting caught up in details.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not what it's about.
No, I'm not saying that's what it's about. I'm saying that's the issue
it's a test
with religion.
of faith. That's what it is.
But that's the issue with religion.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying that's what it is.
Yeah.
In the eyes of religious
stupid.
people. Yes, I'm not saying. Thank you for pointing that out. I think we're past that. We all know that.
Sure.
It's like saying, "Hey guys, sexism is wrong." Yes, we know. We don't have to point it out.
Fine.
It's the same thing here. We know that it's wrong that the baby died. But what I'm trying to get at, sorry for screaming, but I'm trying to get a point across, and you're getting hung up on the baby. Sorry. That a test of faith is one thing, but because God is in the eyes of religious people, He is almighty. So if He wants to test you by killing a baby, yeah, that sucks. But He has every right to.
Sure.
But when He contradicts Himself, that's like then the God nerd can be like, actually, God, you can't say that this is right and then say that is right as well, because if you destroy what is right, then was it right or was it wrong? And that's then God would be like, that's what I want to get to,
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry for screaming.
But that's what I think tests of faith is. They're God contradicting Himself.
How is He contradicting Himself?
Because God says that everything is, there's a plan for everything, and I'm testing these people's faith, but I have to, I have to kill those people who are good people to test your faith. So it's like,
yeah.
You see how that
add
up?
But how else? Okay, if it's not someone dying, then if it's you get cancer,
yeah, but then it's just you. You're the one getting sick. You're tested.
Okay. Yeah, but the test of faith is for the survivors of the people who died. The families who survived.
God shouldn't have to kill innocents to test others.
When it's innocent, though. That's the whole thing. I think in every version of Christianity, at least, I think everyone is a sinner.
Are you born a sinner?
I think you're born a sinner, yeah. Because you're born out of sin. Isn't that?
But isn't that what marriage is supposed to, that it's not a sin anymore?
No. Because Congress, as they call it here, you're not supposed to. That's the whole thing with why you have to keep repenting, why you have to have your faith in God, because you need to constantly ask forgiveness, so that even though you did sin, that's the original sin. When Eve gave Adam the apple, the original sin. Like, we're all sinners. So in order for us to receive God's love, there has to be constant devotion.
Wow, that's annoying.
It's very annoying, and it's not cool at all. But it's kind of a foolproof system.
Yeah.
Because then when he kills them, well, yeah, because he's the shepherd, like it's his sheep, and technically they are sinners. And if they die, if they were devoted, okay, you died in a terrorist attack, but you get to go to heaven then. If you lived,
which
except for being born, if you lived without
goal,
sin,
I guess.
Yeah. So that way it makes sense, so to speak.
Yeah.
Take it easy, people. But it's not a contradiction. Where it is a contradiction is like in this movie.
Yeah.
Where God allows one thing, but then allows that thing to be undone.
Yeah.
So which was it then?
Which one's correct?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if that was literally what they were going for with that. If they did, that's pretty clever.
Sure.
If they didn't, it's just a very, very scary ending. I don't know if you saw, I was frozen in fear the entire scene.
No, I was kind of distracted by the thing happening on the screen.
Yeah, I was like, from her starting to scream.
Jesus.
It wasn't until she picked up the rock and was walking towards the baby, I was like, oh, what's going on here? I was just like,
Yeah, at
'Cause that
first I
was-
thought she would just walk away because the baby didn't sound like it was breathing right, so it would probably die soon anyways.
Yeah.
Because there was no crying. I kept saying like, why does the baby sound like that? The
It sounded
first sound made me like, it's a fucking animal.
Yeah.
She gave birth to a dog or something.
It would have been even more horrific. Yeah, I know it's horrific enough to kill an infant, but if as she raises the rock over her head, it actually starts going like ah!
Yeah, like it wakes up. It's back. It's normal
like,
now.
Because it's like, sometimes, it's blocked. You have to do
Yeah,
that
with
little
the
thingy,
mucus thing.
Yeah. I thought it was just that. It would start actually crying. Because then it'd be like, oh my god, she's killing a baby. Here, yeah, I think...
They kept it as if it's
something was wrong,
Yeah,
It was,
misshapen in some way.
Yeah.
Much like every other failed
Which is
previous
still
one.
like, okay, and that makes it okay to kill it? I'm not pro-life like that. I'm definitely pro-choice. But I think it's something, it shouldn't be like an easy choice.
Once it's born,
especially that, yeah, it was fucking born. But I mean,
it's already born. Like you can't kill
it's
a
a metaphor,
living creature.
so to speak. Yeah, I know. But
and
like
the whole like doing scans and coming up with like, well, your baby's most likely gonna be born with Down syndrome. Do you want to keep it or kill it? It's like,
oh yeah,
it's still your baby though.
Yeah, that is. If that is,
would you love it less if it has Down syndrome, for example?
Yeah.
Should you?
Down syndrome is kind of disappearing because of that, which is kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, hey, it's a woman's choice.
Yeah, but the choice shouldn't be
based on.
The choice should never be based on the child's. Unless it's a sickness that will definitely kill the child within like 2 years,
and it will live in horrific pain. Yeah. Okay. Maybe we should.
That's fine.
Yeah.
If it's just something that it can live for a full life with and still be happy and healthy,
then
it's just different. Then no, fuck no. Then you're a murderer.
I agree. Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Well, you are.
Yeah.
Unless, okay, of course, again, the mother will be in risk. Then that's a different story.
Yeah. Then it is a choice.
Yes.
You're gonna have to.
It's a life for life.
Yeah. Will you save the mom or will you save the baby?
Then I will say what I always say: save the mom. You can always make more babies with the same mom.
Yeah.
Can't make more babies with a baby.
Hey, just wait a few years. You can't.
Oh, that's incest.
Well, you don't have to, but the baby can make more babies.
You as your the partner of
That's
the
very
mother.
selfish. That's very selfish. I'm just saying. I'm kidding.
Overall,
Yeah.
bringing you back to the movie a little bit.
Bring it back to the movie.
I agree with what you said. It's it's like a better, more grounded version. Better in the sense that it is more grounded, more realistic version of the Omen, the first Omen.
Oh.
Not as scary as in jump scares.
No, yeah,
That
but
kind of scary, but more of a crushing chest pain scary.
Yeah, I thought this. Yeah, exactly.
More uncomfortable.
Like I said, what I call actually scary. Yes.
Yeah.
I thought this was more horrific. Yeah.
Yeah. Even like the scenes of her just sitting alone in her bedroom after a while. Like, not that I expected someone to be in there with her. It just felt so isolated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That kind of fear. Not as in the first Omen where you kept fearing that someone's gonna show up in a corner.
Yeah.
Even though that happens technically once in this movie or twice.
yeah.
It was more of a realistic fear. Like, I don't want to be home alone now.
Yeah.
Because, shit, I'll be just as alone as her.
Yeah.
I don't know. It is more grounded. I think that's the best description.
So I gotta say, if we're comparing them, I think I prefer this one.
Yeah.
Also, it was shorter, which always helps.
Yes. I don't know if what I scored.
The first one was 2 hours. I think I gave it like a 3.5 or even a 4, which I probably wouldn't give Immaculate a 4 So I might have to revise my my score for.
I gave the first Omen a 3.
Maybe I did too. Hold on.
I might give this one like
I gave it a
3.
I gave it a 3.5. I'd probably give Immaculate the same, but if I had to like put them on a pedestal, I would put Immaculate above that. So it's 3.55.
Yeah.
Which means you're on 1,000 scale, which I'm not.
No, it's amongst all of your 3.5s, this is ahead of.
Yes, exactly.
The first Omen.
Yeah. I think that's it for this episode.
Yeah. We can mention, like you talked about, what the next episode will be. Well, the Patreon will be
Patreon
about.
episode. Of course, we're gonna do more nun movies.
Yeah,
I think
but more
non-exploitation.
That's not how you. Thank you.
Well, the one we talked about, the devils.
Yes.
Don't count as a non-exploitation. I think
that's fine by me. To be honest,
I would like to watch that one, or we could watch like there's one there's a famous non-exploitation movie that's actually despite all the erotic stuff, it's actually pretty good. It's called like Flavia, the heretic nun. Really good
we've
movie.
talked about. Yeah, we've added that to my list, I think.
Yeah, and there is a modern movie from like 2017, I think, called Benedetta, which is very, very non-exploitation adjacent. It's not but it's literally about a nun who like is horny for God.
Yeah, I think we've mentioned that too somewhere.
Yeah, it's by Paul Verhoeven, so it's very exploitative. It's very graphic, I would say. That's another one we could do, but I think we're gonna focus on the devils.
Yeah,
I think because we talked about it already.
We'll see which ones we find and have time to watch, but we'll start with the devils and then see how much we can add. Yeah,
exactly. So if you wanna hear us talk more about religious horror and some nun hanky-panky stuff, check us out on patreon.com/don'tmakeascene. There's also, beyond that, there's literally hundreds of hours of exclusive stuff. So check us out there. $3 a month for all that. But other than that, we'll be back with another free episode next Saturday when we're doing Furiosa.
Yes,
it's gonna be awesome. But until then, have a good one.
Bye.
The Spoilercast is part of Please Don't Make a Scene. It is produced and directed by Tobias Vedén and hosted by Tobias and Rebecca Vedén. Executive producer is Annika Vedén. I also want to give a huge shout out to all our patrons over on patreon.com/don'tmakeascene. Mom, Dad, Christopher Belén, Daniel Del Gaiso, Mac and Mom, Laura Kinney, and CK85.